So I thought we would start with a very deceptively simple but surprisingly unsolved problem in urban science, which is the definition of the very object of our inquiry, what is urban? And efforts to pin down a clear and precise definition run into this tension between our ontological aspiration, which is that our desire and in many cases our need to create clear and discrete categories for classifying places and people, and the sort of messy and untidy and complex reality of cities and urban systems, which are often fluid and fuzzy. And I like to use these four examples to demonstrate the scientific and practical complexity that arises from this lack of a consensus definition. So the first one is the city of St. David's in Pembrokeshire in Wales. Officially a city, according to the UK, it is the only city in Pembrokeshire, but it is home to just 1,700 people. And it is not the largest urban area in Pembrokeshire. That would go to Milford Haven, which is not classified as a city. And I think that neatly summarizes the way in which many times our reliance on administrative or political classification of places can run into tension with our intuitive or functional understanding of what urban and non-urban places are. The second one, obviously, is the city of Tikal, one of the great Mayan cities, which has been uninhabited for hundreds of years. But all of this infrastructure, this amazing infrastructure, still exists in the jungles of Guatemala. It has monumental buildings. It has public plazas. It has road networks. It has waterworks. It has all the things that we would think of in infrastructural terms and which some people still use, historians, archaeologists, some statistical agencies, to classify places as urban or not urban, but it has no people. Would we consider this urban? The third example, Silicon Villages. In many of the richest parts of the world today, we have people working at the pinnacle of the economy, working in tech, finance, business services, but living and working in these bucolic, sparsely inhabited settlements surrounded by nature and by fields. Now, in the 20th century, it became common to link definitions of urban or urbanization to industrialization or advanced economic development. And if we do that, we're stuck with the question, is this an urban place if it is the most economically advanced in terms of its employment profile? And then finally, we have a refugee camp in Jordan that has been there for over 20 years and is home to tens and thousands of people. It has no formal legal, political, administrative status as an urban settlement. It does not have any formal fixed trunk infrastructure, and it has only the most basic economy. But it has tens of thousands of people living in close proximity, sharing this space together. And this represents the geodemographic approach, which has become increasingly popular for defining places as urban. But this approach, if we just say it's where people are and how many there are, runs up against the classic challenge of how big is big enough to be urban, and where does the city begin, and where does it end in the landscape? And so I thought I would start with one of the most basic unsolved problems in urban science.